Yeah.
Okay, so we got to interview Mr. Berta right now. I'm really excited because I never met her before, so we got to go meet her. Just through those doors. So let's go.
So Mr. Berta has been my counselor for a year, but I've never found out her story behind her career. So I'm really anxious to find out what led her to be the youth counselor that she is, and I'm excited.
I know. My other all mine are good. Yeah. Oh, it's in school, but the other ones aren't good. Who's good? Not your fault.
Cindy,
So let's start off with introducing ourselves. You know me. I'm Samantha.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Felicia.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Felisha.
Nice to meet you.
Okay, so let's start off. How's your morning been?
Crazy, but it's always crazy. It's good. It's good.
Okay. What struggles have you overcome, being a gang counselor or youth outreach?
So struggles within my job or struggles personally? Struggles within my job,
Yeah.
what I do? Oh gosh. It's tough being a youth intervention specialist, and that's what I am. That's my title, youth intervention specialist, and I work for California Youth Outreach. And some of the struggles are to see kids, every kid that I work with, I know has potential, and they could definitely, overcome and be victorious and strive and do the things that they accomplish their goals. But what the struggle I have is seeing a youngster who doesn't reach that. They get distracted and allow other things to come into their life that keep them away from succeeding. And it's hard, but that's one of the struggles. That's the main struggle actually I have. My thing is wanting to help everybody, and I know that I can't. Nobody can do that, and so that's one of my tough struggles is wanting to help everybody, knowing that I can't. So that's a struggle for me.
Can you describe a little bit in depth of what you do?
Well, I work with at-risk youth. I work with kids who are impacted, affiliated, with gangs. I work with kids who who come from that type of a background. It can either be family, friends, the neighborhood they live in. And we do one-on-ones. We do group sessions with them. We do home visits. I myself, I'm from around here, so I drive through some of the gang-impacted neighborhoods sometimes, and I go and I talk with the kids because they know who I am. And some of them are even older now that I used to work with, and I still see them. I still run into kids I work with because I've been with this job for 18 years. And every so often, this is one of the times where I've been, coming in contact with a lot of the kids. They're contacting me. They're now 29, 30 years old. Mm-hmm. The first ones I ever worked with, and I just ran into them, so it's pretty cool. But that's what I do. I work with a lot of the kids, hoping to try to get back to society, letting them know that there is another way of life, that they do have in them no matter what they've been through, where they've come from, not what just happened. They still can succeed, and that life can and will get better if they choose to.
Is this what you've always wanted to be? When you were our age, did you think you were going to be here?
No, I didn't know that. I knew that, how old are you?
16.
Yeah, at your age, I was still doing craziness. I was really doing really bad, actually. I didn't have really any goals set for myself. The only goals I had were to, keep all everything that happened to me in the back of my head and to try and move forward as far as just living day by day. I was, I never had it on my mind at your age to do what I'm doing now. No. At your age, I was thinking about how to survive. At your age, I was thinking about how to just survive, man. How to, come across, how to deal with day, every day. That's what I was thinking about, But as I got older, I knew that something like this was probably going to happen because of my background, people that I knew, and sure enough, that's what happened. People that we knew started this organization and asked me to be here. So this is where I'm at.
Did you, when they first, when California Youth Outreach first opened up, were you, counseled, or was it automatically you just came into work?
When California Youth Outreach, when they first opened up, it was actually called Breakout Prison Outreach. And what we were doing at that time, we were going into the prisons, the men and women prisons, and speaking to the adults in there. And then, the founder of this organization, Anthony Ortiz, he wanted to start working with the youth also, and so that's as we start. DBA is, doing business as California Youth Outreach. I was not counseled. No, what happened was the founder, Anthony Ortiz. He used to be a drug dealer. He was in prison, and he actually ended up knowing my mom because of that lifestyle. Because my mom was involved in that lifestyle, and so I've known him since I was a little girl. So he knew my struggles. He knew some of the things I had been through. So when he got right, and like I said, started running founded this organization, he just one day pulled me in and asked me. He said, I know what you've been through. He said, I think you'd be good at working with these youth. And I was all for it. I was like, yeah, sure, because by that time I was already good, and getting good. And so he said, but the one thing is you can't bring these kids home with you. I was like, well, yeah, of course, I know that, and he was like, no, you're going to want him, but you can't. I'm like, okay, cool. And so I started out in San Jose, and man, it was a trip because the first kid I worked with, it was a girl from middle school. It was like hearing my story all over again. She just came in, I opened up, and when she left that day, it was like the beginning of even a healing process for me, my background, because it was just, I can't even explain what happened, I just know she left. I started tearing up, and back then I didn't really cry a whole lot, and I started tearing up, and I was like, okay, now I know why I'm here. Now I know why I've had to go through a lot of the things I've gone through, and this is so I can help others, so.
Have you ever gone to college?
Never, which is terrible because I wanted to for a long time. I wanted to, and I still should, to be honest with you, but I've always allowed other things to get in the way, I've always been the type of person to help others and to do put everything before me, and I need to put myself first sometimes, you know what I mean? So, no, I think college is an amazing thing. I think it's a good thing, but no, I haven't. I wish I would. I still may, who knows? Not that old, So.
Are there days when you don't want to get up and go to work, or are you pretty satisfied with what you do?
I do not consider this a job. This is more like my passion. And there's not days I don't want to come and not be here at work. No, that's no. I think what it is that are there days that I'm tired? Yes. Yes, there's days that I'm tired. Is there days that I wish I could just sleep all day, sometimes, yeah, because this job is definitely, it takes a lot out of you, but no, I love doing my, I guess you can say, job, but this is more like a passion to me.
Going into this counseling or a youth outreach, I think I just said this question, but what obstacles did you have to face, and what priorities did you have to incorporate with your job?
The obstacles I faced were mainly, and these weren't, I don't know if you want to call these, they're not normal obstacles, but the challenges I faced were seeing these kids and their struggles and the abuse and the neglect and the heartache, the loneliness, the abandonment, the rejection, seeing all that was really hard for me because I have to go back to where I came from. Hearing all these kids at the beginning of my when I started working, it was a healing process for me. Because these kids, and here they were going through the same type of stuff that I'd already been through, and had the same type of issues. And the struggle for me was at the beginning, was to just be there and not react the old way I wanted to react on these people that have hurt these kids I'm working with. But it was just to be there as an adult and as a mentor, and be right and be that example, and not go back to my old ways. I wanting to protect these youngsters, you know what I mean? I wanted just to, that was a struggle for me at the beginning. Mm-hmm. It isn't now. Don't get me wrong, I still get mad sometimes, when, a lot of the times when I hear what these kids go through, but I've learned how to handle it the right way. Mm-hmm. So at the beginning, that was an obstacle for me. That was a struggle for me, because of who I am, I guess, and to this day, to hear some of the things that these kids go through, it's, you guys, man, you guys are resilient. You guys, man, the kids I've worked with, coming through some things, and man, some adults don't realize. They just don't realize what these youngsters have to go through, just to get here on time, Some kids getting up in the morning and having to clean the whole house and taking care of the younger kids or, younger siblings, or cousins or whoever, or being abused or, whatever it may be. So, well, that was my obstacle, and those were my struggles. Was that? Yeah. What was the other part of your question? I'm sorry. About priority.
What other personal life did you have to incorporate to be in this job?
Well, it was just my background, really. I went through a lot growing up. My mom was a heroin addict. She was in and out of jail. My real dad was never really involved in my life at all, but he was also, a drug addict and out of prison. Me and my brother at the time were abandoned a lot, places, just crazy, awful, nasty places, We lived in the worst part of San Francisco for a while, Mission District. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that, but you can ask somebody and they'll tell you. We were running the streets at that time. I was 8 years old, my brother was 11, and so all those things that we had been through, and being brought up in that type of lifestyle where, our houses are being raided and, that certain things were being taught that no youngster should have to be even worried about, Those things, I have brought the things that I've been through from my past and have incorporated into this job because I can understand where these kids are coming from. I haven't read a book on it, and, I didn't, get on the internet and see how, how I'm supposed to react. No, I know, because I've been there. And I've had a lot of kids over the years tell me that we like talking to you because you've been through it, and you haven't just gone to school and read a book about it, you've actually been through it. And don't get me wrong, one school's a good thing, but, so that's how I've incorporated, my personal life, with this job is, I'm able to help that way, because I have been through it and because I do know what it is, and being brought up, that way. So.
If you would have, known then what you know now, that you were going to go through all this, say you just had, an epiphany when you were young, that you were going to go through all this stuff, would you ever change anything?
That's a good question. Gosh, with being an adult now, thinking about it now, I would not change anything. I wouldn't, because, what I would change is some of the things, maybe some of the choices that I made. You know what I mean? Hurting other people and doing some of the things that I've done. But everything that's happened to me personally and the struggles I had to go through, no, I wouldn't change it. And there's a lot of people who can't understand that, but I wouldn't change it because it's made me who I am today. And I've been able to help so many youngsters. Thank God, man, I've been here, and helped a lot of youngsters, because of my past, because of what I've gone through. So as an adult sitting here now, I wouldn't change that. I went through a lot of abuse. I went through a lot of everything. If you can start throwing things out there, I can probably tell you I've been through all that, But no, I wouldn't change that, because then I wouldn't be able to be here doing what I do.
Do you have any advice for kids who are going through stuff with family issues or personal issues and being in gangs?
Well, when you're going through personal issues and you feel, sometimes you feel like this is it, this is the way it's always going to be, this is the furthest you can see is what's in front of you, Just know that this is only temporary. This is what's going on in your life right now, for real. I know it doesn't seem like it, but it's only temporary. Things, if you give it a chance and you keep on living and you keep on fighting and going forward, you will see, that things do get better, that they are better. And I am living proof of that, because when I was a youngster, I wanted to give up. I'm not going to lie. I had these crazy thoughts, and, doing things and, all this stuff, of ending stuff, But if I would have done that, I wouldn't be able to experience the happiness I'm experiencing now and all the things I have now, But everything that you're going through right now is temporary, It's not forever. Even though you have been through things all your life so far up to this point, all kinds of negative stuff, all kinds of bad things may have happened to you. This is just for now. It will get better. Nobody, being a youngster, you haven't really had a choice in how your beginning has been, how it started for you. But you do have a choice how your future is going to be. You don't have a choice of your past, but you do have a choice of your future. Allow you to have that. Allow yourself to have that, because it's coming and it's right around the corner, and you can make something of that, no matter what you've gone through, no matter what has happened, you know, and once again, I'm living proof of that.
Have you ever, like, lost, like, someone you were mentoring, like, to the streets and ever felt like, man, I lost one, like, I could have helped that one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's happened quite a few times. You know, I've been to a lot of funerals of youngsters, and it breaks my heart. You know, it truly does, because I always think, man, I wonder if I would have just done this, or if maybe I should have said this instead, or, you know. But, you know, everybody has their choices to make, and regardless, you know, because I started thinking, man, this, you know, more was coming. It was right around the corner. You know, they could have, you know, this was what was going to happen, or whatever. But sitting there at the funeral, seeing the moms or the dads, you know, brothers, sisters, or whoever there, you know, family members crying, and I'm thinking, you know, man, you know, if I could have done this, or maybe I could have done that, but you know, yeah, I think that's a normal reaction for somebody like myself who does what I do, because you do want to help everybody, you know. But you know, I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's sad, you know. But this is part of my job. It's rewarding and heartbreaking at the same time.
Do you ever like let your emotions get in your way of working with them?
Plenty of times I have, and I got to be careful for that, you know, because I mean, I don't want to, you know, cry in front of a youth I'm working with. I don't want to, but then again, the same breath, I guess it's sort of okay. So they see that I am human, you know what I mean? I do care, you know, and like I tell a lot of the youngsters I work with, that this isn't just a job, you know, for me. This is what I love doing. I love helping you guys, you know, and yeah, you know, I have let my emotions get in the way, and there's been plenty of times where I've cried, you know, at night, and you know, my thing is I pray, so I pray, and you know, there's been times where I just went and parked in in the parking lot at nighttime, you know, knowing that some of these youth are homeless, or knowing that there's the situation that's going on, there's really nothing I can do at that time, and I'm just crying and just like, you know, boo-hooing, you know, all by myself, you know, but then I clean myself up, toughen up, and, you know, go on the next day and do what I can do, you know, be there for them, you know, and just do what I can do. So yes, I do.
Okay, well, to wrap up this like whole like interview, what advice do you have for us, knowing that like we're about to branch out and go into our new careers? What advice do you have?
Do not ever let any negativity, you know, hold you back from doing what you want to do, ever. There's so many people who are famous now, actors, singers, you know, all these people, right, sports players, you know, who are out there making their money, who are doing things the right way, but who were told they didn't have no talent, who were told they're not going to amount to nothing, who were told you might as well just, you know, quit what you're doing now and do something else because it ain't going to happen for you. But they didn't listen. And if they would have, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing now. They wouldn't be making all the money they're making now. Everybody's going to always have an opinion. Everybody's going to always have something to say. But it's your choice if you're going to listen to it or not. You're either going to let it be a big weight on your shoulders and hold you down, or you're going to use it as a stepping stone and help you to walk forward and move forward. And that's up to you. But don't ever let your past or anything hold you back from your passion. Don't ever do that. You know, don't ever do that. Move forward, man, with pride, with your head held high, you know, and do what you know that you can do. Don't let no negativity hold you back, ever, because you'll regret it. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right on.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Joey. I'm glad I got to make it finally.
No.
I
We understand.
Okay, so we just finished we just finished the interview with Miss Roberta, and one of the things that really touched me was she said that like you could take in on negativity and hold on your shoulders, or you could use that as a stepping stool to like keep on moving you forward with your life. And I was like about to cry, you know, because I was like, bro, like I have all this negativity, people saying that I can't do something, and I know I can do it. And I'm just like, really, like, I'm gonna just use that as a stepping stool. I'll be like, stop it.
Damn, did we leave all throughout the second period? Wait, is it recording?
Yeah.
Oh, so we just got out of the interview with Miss Roberta, and I'm sort of like sad because I now know like what she's been through, because I know that she had a hard life, and I understand where she comes from because I've built a relationship with her throughout a couple of the months that I've been working with her, and now that I know everything that she's been through, it sort of just gives me a heavy heart. I just love her more than I already did. Say what you took from this.
Felisha!
We just finished our interview, and what I took back from it is that, like, right now it's just temporary, and, like, we still have so much of our life to go through, and that we can't just hate our life because of what happens in the past. So I think it was really inspiring to talk to her because she went through a hard time, and but that hard time benefited her in the end, and it's benefiting a lot of other kids right now.
So we're about to interview Mr. Berta right now. Check through those halls right there. So I feel excited but nervous.
Everybody here? Okay, I'm going to go see the small conference room's available.
Okay. Yeah, we about to go review. No. Bloopers.
Okay, go.
We about to go. Time's over. Okay, so we about to interview Mr. Berta right now. Like, I'm really excited but nervous because, like, I don't know her. So, yeah. Okay, so we about to interview Mr. Berta right now. I never met her before, so I'm excited to meet her.